Binge the full week of The Ray Taylor Show ad-free over at inspireddisorder.com/plus.
This is The Ray Taylor Show.
Rayz Dayz, episode 125 of the show where I recap my week. And also, we'll be adding a new segment, I guess, to this show where I am going to read comments. So as people leave comments at YouTube or on my social media about shows I post, this is where I'm going to try it out. I'm going to read some comments. So, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. I don't think I'm going to be necessarily, maybe I'll give I don't know if I'm actually going to call them out. I mean, you can always just go subscribe to my YouTube page, youtube.com/inspireddisorder, or follow me on social media if you want to research to find out who left these comments. But, I'll give them, since they are public comments, I won't call them out necessarily, but I will read their comments. So I will be doing that at the end of this episode. But my week in general, last week, as happens kind of regularly, I've noticed, because it takes me about 3, 4, close to 5 hours recording this show. I record about 4 to 5 hours of the podcast when all 7 episodes are added up. Not to mention the time in between, taking breaks between recording episodes. But because of that, I tend to have a very weak voice. My throat, my vocal cords tend to be pretty wrecked by the end of recording. And last week, my voice was gone. I pretty much lost my voice for what seemed like most of Monday as well. I usually afterwards, I'll suck on a few cough drops, some menthol cough drops, just to help soothe my throat. But yeah, it was cracking and going out last week, and it was pretty exhausted Monday. It really took a lot out of me. These long episodes, it is. I mean, aside from my butt really feeling the pain of sitting down for that long recording, my voice really, and I'm not talking throughout the week. I'm not having conversations with people. I'm not doing other videos. So it's on Sunday when I record all these podcasts, I'm speaking at a level, at a volume that I do once a week. And it took a toll on me last week. And, it is what it is, but it was a bummer. Monday I was pretty much out of it, which I kind of gotten into a new routine, I guess, it's not a really new routine, but, my weeks really kind of pick up Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday I pretty much work from the moment I wake up to sometimes midnight. And I've kind of made it a point to make Monday, for sure Monday is like a day off. I mean, I'll probably watch movies that I'm going to talk about, or I'll be doing stuff that is part of my overall work that I'm doing, but it'll be an easy day, right? I'll make sure I'm not doing big projects on Monday. I'm making it a relaxing day, which if I have to watch a movie or a few movies or a TV show or whatever it is I'm going to be talking about for the next week, that's not a problem. I don't have a problem doing that. But I try to make that day just kind of a day off, a kind of just force myself not to do anything. Which, before I pretty much used to have each day I had a lot of stuff to do. And I've kind of just rearranged things in a way. But I am planning on doing more stuff. I did record this week, not on Monday, but on basically Wednesday, I didn't get any sleep because I figure I'm going to start doing more videos for YouTube, right? I mentioned the reaction videos, which I plan on doing that as well, but that's going to take some experimenting to see what I can get away with not tripping any, copyright stuff. But in addition to that, I'm going to start doing more how-to videos. Since my most popular video on my website, on YouTube, is my how-to video for Zippo lighters, which recently went over 2 million views. I'm going to start doing more how-to videos. And so far, the first one I did was a how-to edit vertical video in iMovie, which is a technique that I use to make this show as well as all my painting videos for the many faces. So, and Wednesday, I came up with that idea Wednesday and pretty much not only laid out how I was going to make that video, but also just started listing all the different how-to videos. I'm going to do a complete series of how-to videos, step-by-step videos of how I produce the Ray Taylor Show. So from the prep I do throughout the week to the specific prep I do Saturday, to what my day is like Sunday, and then also what it is, how I do all the clips and stuff like that for each show, and also give my tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff along the way. But I'm going to do a step-by-step tutorial on how I produce the Ray Taylor Show. So I was listing that out, listing all the different things out, but specifically I wanted to do just how to edit vertical video in iMovie. And I could not sleep. My brain was on fire. And even so much so where I woke up in the middle of the night and on my notepad on my phone wrote out step by step a complete script of what I'm going to say to record and how I'm going to produce it. And then Thursday, exhausted because I didn't sleep. I slept like shit, maybe a couple hours the night before. Complete zombie on Thursday. And Thursdays, I paint live. I paint all my paintings for the week on Thursday, starting at 4:20 over at youtube.com/inspireddisorder. And before that, I filmed and edited my how-to video on how to edit. So if you want to go check that out, it's over at youtube.com/inspireddisorder, how to edit vertical video in iMovie. And the specific idea on how to do it, I executed pretty much how I thought I would do it. I look horrible. I look like death because I didn't sleep. I had a headache. I felt like shit. But I needed to do it. I needed to get it out and get it done. And I like the way it turned out. I don't like the way I look. I think I said words poorly multiple times. I would have liked to re-record the audio of that, my voiceover stuff, or just, a lot of it's video, but I want to take a quick break from the show to let you all know that there is official merch for the Ray Taylor Show. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com. You can get t-shirts, different artwork available, different designs, all on high-quality materials in all the sizes. There's also iPhone cases made of biodegradable material. That's right. This is not bad for the environment. This is good for the environment. So all of those designs that are available on t-shirts are also available on phone cases. Designed by me, sold by me. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com to support the Ray Taylor Show and promote it out in the world, so all of the people in your life can see that you are a fan of the Ray Taylor Show. Now, let's get back to that very show right now. I'm going to be doing more how-to videos. So if there's something you have a suggestion, a video you'd like me to do, for sure do that. I'm going to be doing a how-to video on my fountain pens, just basic stuff. I might be doing some smaller how-to stuff with the Zippo, but the big project involved with that will be how I produce, step-by-step, how I produce this show, which I'm pretty excited about. It'll kind of be like a behind-the-scenes documentary in a lot of ways. But it'll be like a ton of videos. It'll be a whole playlist. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to that. And like on a different note, no, I'll just get it. Let's get into comments. I was going to talk about something else, but the topic I don't really feel like talking about. So these are comments from my YouTube page, on videos on my YouTube page for the last week. So to give you an idea if you want to check these out. This comment was placed on my review of the movie Eegay, spelled E-E-G-A, which is an Indian film, a great movie about a kid who's killed and reincarnates into a fly. And as a fly, he's going to seek revenge. It's pretty great. It's by the same guy who made RRR and Bahubali 1 and 2, SS Rajamouli. But this comment is for somebody he recommends, or she recommends, they recommend I watch Vikram, which I literally did this week. I don't know why I clipped this out, probably just to promote. My Monday review of this week was Vikram, which was a fun movie. I was excited to watch it. It was already on my list, but it was a movie similar to KGF Chapter 1, which is another Indian film, where it takes about halfway through the movie before like everything kind of makes sense, and it feels like it's really the rubber hits the road. And they're long movies. They're like almost 3-hour long movies. So, taking an hour and a half for things to feel like they're getting going was kind of rough. But overall, I enjoyed it. And then this comment on my review of Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is a movie review I did a few months ago, but this is a recent comment. It is better to see it in a theater with the show shadow casting. The first few times you see it, it will be weird. However, you will have fun, which is something I would love to see. Watching Rocky Horror Picture Show, which is a movie I'd never seen before, reviewing it, which is one of the reasons I reviewed it. I wasn't a big fan of the movie necessarily. It has some fun moments, but while watching it, I couldn't help but think about the screenings that people have where they're participating and singing along, and I can see how that would be fun. How that communal kind of participation would make the movie-going experience for Rocky Horror Picture Show more enjoyable. So, at some point when I see, when I have that opportunity, I will definitely take it up and watch that with a crowd of people, and probably try and be as intoxicated as possible to enjoy myself as much as possible. Let's move on to another one. This one's on my KGF Chapter 2 review. This person, please review Killa, Killa, Marathi movie. It's definitely a movie that I have added to my list. I don't know if it's a movie. It's not available for me to watch. I did add it to my list, but it's and I don't know if anybody's recommended it, but I have gotten a lot of movie recommendations specifically for Indian films now that I've started reviewing Indian films, and those video reviews tend to be pretty popular, especially the RRR. So I do have a list of movies people have recommended. So if there are movies that you would like me to recommend, I would, make sure you leave those recommendations in the comments. I will see them, and I will add them to the list unless, sometimes people have reviewed stuff or recommended stuff that I have already reviewed. So, don't want to discourage anybody from recommending stuff. I love recommendations. This is a comment on my 13 Lives movie review, which is the new, what's his name? Ron Howard movie that's on Amazon Prime. The limited coverage of the boys' story may have to do with how the rights to their story were negotiated with the various production companies, with Netflix reportedly winning the prize and soon coming out with a series. And they wrote more, but I didn't seem to clip all of it, which is the second person that's told me this. This was a much more respectful way of informing me, whereas somebody else was like, dude, Netflix is going to tell their story. My big complaint or criticism with 13 Lives was the fact that they didn't feel the boys from Taiwan who get trapped in this cave. It's an intense movie. Overall, I enjoyed it. But I felt like they didn't do any, like there was zero time or effort spent to humanize these kids who are part of a soccer team that go hiking in this cave, and because of rains and floods, the cave gets flooded in, and there's this like insane rescue, which the story of the rescue is insane. The way the story is told by Ron Howard is not great. But the fact that the story is insane is great. But I noticed while watching it that they really spent, like, don't get to know the kids at all. And I would have loved for just a little bit of time spent either while they're playing soccer before they go to like have them run a play, just like have them have a conversation. And it could have been completely fictionalized, but at least give me something to make these kids feel like kids instead of just these nameless, faceless kids. Not faceless, nameless, but like just random kids. Like, we don't get to know any of them. Like, we really only get to know, as far as people in this movie, a couple of the white people that are the divers, the people that save them, which is, it's kind of a bummer because there's a vast array of people that were involved in the rescue. But good information there, because I didn't know that going into my review that Netflix had got. So it'll be interesting to compare the two, to see how Netflix tells the story. I don't know who's directing it on Netflix, but considering Ron Howard, I haven't really been a fan of his work since the 90s. Wasn't that surprised that it kind of fell short. Let's take a little break from the show to promote The Many Faces. That's right, I am also an artist. I do ink paintings on paper of abstract faces. A new face, a new painting gets released every single day over at inspireddisorder.com. So head on over to my website to purchase original artwork directly from the artist. Also, there are prints available for select images. Head on over to inspireddisorder.com, buy original art, buy prints if that's your jam, if you want 8x10 prints on high quality paper. Also, if you're looking to wear some art, there are shirts available with original artwork by myself. Select faces from The Many Faces are also available in t-shirt form. You go to inspireddisorder.com, you buy original artwork, you buy prints, you buy shirts. You're supporting an artist directly. And if you're the type of person that likes to invest in NFTs, there are also NFTs available for select faces. Go to inspireddisorder.com now. And now let's get back to the show. So a couple more comments here. Both of these are on my top 5 Spider-Man movies, my live-action Spider-Man movies ranking that I did. This one is, I agree with you. Tobey Maguire was trash in Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 sucked, which that's the only Sam Raimi movie I liked with Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the best and most believable as Spider-Man. I agree. I think Tom Holland is by far the best Spider-Man. I enjoy his Spider-Man. I really liked Garfield's Spider-Man 2. I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 did a similar thing that Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 did, where they tried to do too much and tried to have too many villains and tried to pack in almost 2 movies worth of stuff into one movie, and it just did not work. But I like Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. I think Tobey Maguire is a horrible actor, and it's like Spider-Man 2 is the only good one, I think, out of the two. And I don't think it's because Tobey Maguire's. I think it was just all the elements came together to make Spider-Man 2 good, but I think, I don't know, maybe I just don't like Sam Raimi's style. And then this last comment here on the same top 5 Spider-Man movies post. LOL, he did great in both 1 and 3. The story was shit, but other than that, dude is a legend. I disagree. I don't think he did great in 1 and 3. I think his acting is laughable. Watching Tobey Maguire cry in 3 is one of the most pathetic pieces of acting I've ever seen. Also, the love interest thing, the between him and MJ is just horrible. Like the fact that in 1, like his friend ends up dating her, even though it's clear that he like everything, all of the aspects of 1 and 3 are just mind-blowingly insane. It's like, I don't know. I guess, like, maybe if you're a fan of Sam Raimi and he has that kind of style where it feels like aliens are doing an impersonation of humans and you like that kind of a thing, I need to watch more Sam Raimi stuff, because I don't know if it's specific to Sam Raimi or if it's specific to Tobey Maguire. But in my rewatch, and I loved Spider-Man 1, but in my rewatch, Spider-Man 1 and 3 by Sam Raimi were garbage, and Tobey Maguire was a big piece of corn in that garbage, in that shit. But anyway, so those are the comments that I had clipped out for this episode. I'm going to try and do more of that on the Rayz Dayz. Go and comment and talk about comments and encourage people to leave comments on the YouTube page. Or if, I put clips up on all the social media. So if you see those, comment on those. And I might clip it out and talk about it on an upcoming episode of Rayz Dayz. But that's been my week. I want to try and get another how-to video done. I want to do probably how to refill a fountain pen, because that's a pen. I have one pen that I use in my notebook for taking notes for every episode. And I would love to start producing the how-to videos on how I produce this podcast, because that's a big project, and I'd like to get started on that. So hopefully we'll see how this next week goes, how my productivity and my energy is. But those are some things I'd like to start doing more of, and hopefully my voice won't be dead. I only have one more episode to record after this one, so we'll see if I blow it out talking about movie cars. But anyway, I hope everybody else is having a good week. Hope you're taking care of yourself, staying healthy, mentally, physically, and all of that. Take care.
New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on YouTube and everywhere our podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at inspireddisorder.com/plus. Buy Ray Taylor Show merch over at inspireddisorder.com. And follow the show on Instagram at Ray Taylor Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!
Today is the day where you wake up and you realize that everything that you've been dreaming about, everything that you've been wanting, every goal and wish and hope that you've ever had can become real. Dreams can come true. What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.